All right. So now let's go for the TERM project part 1 presentation, right? So I have actually here the document that is the description of the document. So I will not read it per se, but I will get inspired from it so that it's consistent between what I'm saying and what you will be reading, right? So the TERM project that we have is called the Tracy Lock Challenge. Tracy Lock is a integrated marketing communication agency based in Wilton, Connecticut, and also they have an agency or an office in Texas, right? Don't ask me why, but they have some business in Texas. And actually they are singularly focused on promotional marketing, actually, which is pretty, not unique, because you have quite a few sales promotion agencies, marketing agencies, which are dedicated to promotion or sales promotion. But they have one of the characteristics to be in the top 5. So it's not a small fish, it's a big fish in the world of sales promotion. And even worse, if I may say, they belong to a big group. I think they belong to Omnicom, which is one of the major advertising group in the world, right? So I have partnered with them. We have done that for several semesters right now. And the core idea behind that is really to look at some of their challenges with their clients or with the companies or products or brand that they will actually acquire as clients, and then to come as if we were their team to help them do what they want to do with the client or do what the client is asking them to do for them, or help them to connect with a new client and bring them over and have them sign the contract, right? So we call that the Tracy Lock Sales Promotion Challenge. We can give it another name, but we decided to keep it simple and stupid. And for that, we collaborated, and I have asked them to come back to us with a real challenge or a real opportunity for a real product in a real market that, within the context of sales promotion, of course, that we can work on. You guys can work on to have your hands dirty in the real thing for sales promotion. So this is a real thing. I mean, it's so real, as I mentioned in my other video, that everyone wins. It's you will gain a unique real-world experience of what is promotional marketing. So that might convince you that you will never want to do that ever in your life, or it might change your mind about promotional marketing, and it happened more than one time actually. And you might decide to make it your career. So the best way is to have your hands dirty to know that, right? Tracy Lock, they win as well because they generate new ideas that help them to shine in front of their clients. And then the client behind is very happy because he has new ideas that might help them to solve their challenge or solve their problem or leverage the opportunity that they wanted to leverage. So everyone wins. Everyone wins. And you might see some of your ideas on a billboard at one point, who knows, or on TV or on a coupon. Oh joy, a coupon, right? Okay. So the business in question now for this particular TERM project is Reebok. This is an account that they have just acquired, right? Tracy Lock. And the project to focus on are two products that the project is focusing on. And the idea is for you to pick one, not to pick two, to pick one, right? So it's either Reebok, the Reebok fitness line that is singularly oriented on fitness, on one hand, or it is Reebok Classics, which is more lifestyle related, right? So actually Reebok Fitness, in terms of the retailer that this product has to be associated with for that particular TERM project, is Target. At Target right now you have some Reebok, but you don't have that particular line, right? So it will be new. And the Reebok Classic, which is more lifestyle, more hood, if I may say, it will be at Foot Lockers, right? So you have to pick one of the two. You cannot do both, or you can, but you will be dead, right? So don't do that, right? So pick one, right? Pick either Reebok Fitness or Reebok Classics. And the sales promotion challenge for you is very simple. It's for one of the two products, and of course its associated retailer, to create a national promotional campaign that will promote Reebok at a particular retailer, right? So it would be either Target, as I mentioned to mention to you for Reebok Fitness, or Foot Locker for Reebok Classics. And when we say a new national promotional campaign, that would be really the bare bone, the baseline components, foundation of it, where you don't expect you to give us the full-blown one, but just the foundation. So for this project, which is an individual assignment, you have two major parts, right? As you know by my previous introduction to you. You have part one, which has to be completed by module 3, and you have part 2, which will be piggybacking on that part 1, but that part 2 has to be completed by module 7, right? And you know as well that you have the full 2 weeks to work on the TAMP project. The only other thing that you have to work on in parallel is the one module discussion. Aside that, nothing else. So really, you can dedicate, right? So TAMP project part 1 will be focused on confirming your understanding of the challenge, of the opportunities for the product that you pick, the respective product and retailers target that is concerned by the challenge. What is the value proposition? What is the positioning? What is the competition? What are the marketing communications that are being engaged by the product on one hand and the retailer on the other hand? And by marketing communication, of course, we speak also about sales promotion, which is one of the major focus that you will have to have. And we have to look at the target in general, not only linked to Reebok on one hand and Target on the other hand, or Foot Lockers on the other hand. But if we were to speak about millennials or young adults or a young population which is urban, what else can you learn about them, including in terms of how sales promotion is used with such a target to enhance your understanding and your knowledge and your appreciation of the challenge at hand, right? And you will do that in order to help you detect if there is a set of opportunities to develop powerful promotionals and sales promotion campaigns for the selected product as a selected retailer. You will end up really, part 1, with a set of key observations, key ideas, key avenues that you conclude at the end of your analysis, which is really what this TAMP project part 1 is all about, analysis, information gathering and analysis. You might end up with some ideas about, it seems that such sales promotion technique is working great across the board. Such sales promotion objective is really the one that is the most applicable to such target in that context. Such creative approach makes a lot of sense. Those type of gifts makes the most sense, and all that in the context of the challenge with the product at hand, at the selected retailers, and then looking at the target in general, right? So that's what you want to end up, a bunch of key observations, key best practice that you conclude are best practices that you will recommend building upon the next sales promotion campaign for this particular product at that particular retailer. That's your TAMP project part 1. Then TAMP project part 2, you take those inputs, those key observations, those key conclusions, and you build upon them to end up with what is called in sales promotion promotional concepts. So you will end up with 3 promotional concepts, sales promotion concepts, that you would be recommending as being the one upon which the actual campaign should be built, right? So we will worry about the sales promotion concepts and what they are when we go to TAMP project part 2, but you know that you will take the outputs from your TAMP project part 1, and then you will go take them and build sales promotion campaign concepts upon them, right, for TAMP project part 2. All right, so you have a bunch of resources at your disposal. First of all, you have that particular here the document once again. Oh, here you go. That the document. This is the sales promotion TAMP project description assignment, which I'm kind of overreading here. And then you have additional resources. So you have this document, and then you have a formal creative brief. which came from Traciloc to us. And as we have two products, you have two creative briefs, right? One for each. So you want to look at those creative briefs which have been loaded on under TEM project part 1 briefing documents in this module, right? And read both so that you can decide which product or which combination product retailer you would like to work on, right? So is it on one hand Reebok Fitness with Target or Reebok Classics with Foot Lockers, right? So read those creative briefs. It will give you the proper foundation to build upon your effort. You also will have some Traciloc account manager, Ben Lard and Seshi Shved, who are respectively manager and director of strategic planning at Traciloc, and they will be available through a dedicated discussion forum under the module, where you will be able to ask them questions related to the product, related to the understanding of the challenge from a marketing and sales promotion standpoint, related to questions about the retailers, all what is linked really to the creative brief, right? If you have questions on those, this would be the forum to ask them the question. All the other questions in terms of clarification about the assignment itself and what you have to deliver within your presentation and how to deliver that presentation, all those will be with me, right? And you can use, as I mentioned to you, the talk with the professor forum to ask me questions. And then you have, aside me, the teacher, you also have a paper reference, or I should say a narrated presentation references, and you have one for part 1 and one for part 2. So you won't see V1 for part 2 until we reach the module 7, but you will see V1 for part 1, right? And in this particular sales promotion presentation part 1, a paper reference is also loaded under the TEM project part 1 debrief documents in this section, right? So what do you have to deliver? You have to deliver a narrated presentation, right? And how you have instruction how to submit how to build it up and how to submit it in this assignment description document, as well as in the Dropbox that you have to use for this project, right? Where you will be dropping the link to your document. You will see when you read the how to submit. But what you have to deliver is a presentation that we have the following table of content, right? So I'm telling you exactly what I need you to provide me with. So just give it to me. So first, provide an introduction, right? Don't jump straight to the content. You have to reset the clock in terms of why did you make a presentation, and why are you making that presentation to me right now? You have to reset it. We have to communicate that to me, right? Then you want to look at the Reebok product marketing, right? And you have a bunch of elements that I would like you to cover there. What are the marketing strategies for Reebok for that particular product, right? Some of those elements could be inspired from the creative brief, but some of them will have to be gathered and concluded with some additional maybe information gathering on your side to deepen your understanding, that you can come with those conclusions. You know, what do you think is a marketing objective? I think this one is kind of given in the creative brief. The marketing target, I think this one is given the creative brief as well. You know, I'm just telling you. The value proposition and the positioning of the product, maybe a lot of elements are also in the creative brief. So it will be here just to say, hey, this is what I understood from the creative brief, and I hope I'm right? And then you want to go to past sales promotion for the product. If they had sales promotion before for that Reebok product, which one were they, right? What were the themes of the sales promotion campaign? What were the creatives that they used? What were the techniques that they used? And once you come down to kind of an assessment about the strengths and the weaknesses of the sales promotion approach for this particular product so far. If they had known, well, there's a big gap. Maybe it's justified by the fact that the product is new, right? So the first thing is that Reebok marketing, product marketing section, which you have once again all the elements are mentioned here, right? So I'm just reading. Then you have the retailer marketing. So the second big section, or the third big section after introduction, Reebok, product marketing, and the third is to look at the retailer marketing. So you want to look at the retailer marketing and IMC strategies. You want to try to understand their marketing objective. What are the marketing objectives that they try to achieve? What is their marketing target? What are their marketing targets? What is their value proposition? What is their positioning? What are their communication objectives? What are their communication strategies? What is their major selling idea? AC111, here we come, right? And what conclusions can you make in regard to understanding now their marketing objective, their marketing strategies, their marketing target, and their communication objectives, and their communication strategies, right? To do that as an appendix to this particular TERM Project Part 1 description document, as an appendix in the same document, but as an appendix, there are one or two pages which I have put together as suggestions on how I will go about completing all those sections in the presentation, and particularly this one, the retailer marketing one. How I will go about the project and developing the presentation, so that you can complete those sections. So I will recommend highly that you read this appendix part of the assignment description document, so that you know how to go about it, and you will see immediately that there is a very clear and easy way to go about finding information on the retailer. Once you have done that for the marketing and the communication strategy for the retailer, you also want to understand how they use sales promotion overall, but also with a particular focus on maybe shoes and Reebok, maybe in particular. So you want to look at the sales promotion activities that they had over the last 1-2 years. What are the most frequent sales promotion objectives that they try to achieve? What are the most frequent sales promotion targets that they try to aim at? What are the most frequent sales promotion techniques that they use? And so forth and so on, right? So that you can establish a good foundation of understanding of what is this retailer doing. And then you come to some conclusions, right? Then you go to the fourth part of your presentation, and you want to take the target that the creative brief is mentioning as being the target for the product, the Reebok product. And you might want to understand through other examples, maybe completely irrelevant and off Reebok, maybe for food product or cars or music or whatever it is, but aim at the same target. You might want to have to extract more insights on how they make purchase, on their lifestyles, maybe on the type of promotion, sales promotion that are most often used with them, the type of gift that are the most often used with them, the type of techniques that are the most often used with them, right? So here you go. You have an understanding of, well, let me put my hand here. You have an understanding of the retailers, the product side. You have an understanding of the retailer side, and then you had another understanding, if I can do that here, on the target. And here you want to join the three together. And hopefully you will find some overlaps. And the overlaps will help you to come to your conclusion about, one, is there a fit, an alignment between Reebok and the selected retailer, right? Is the Reebok the product that you work on and the retailer? Or do you have to recommend some adjustment to the target, to the value proposition, to the positioning, whatever, to the major selling idea? Is there any adjustment that you want to say, we have to have those adjustments before we can even conceive sales promotion? First conclusion. Second conclusion. What are some of the opportunity, ideas, techniques, channels, partnerships, etc., that you think based on your observations and this overlap between the three, the next sales promotion campaign should be built upon, right? What are those winning opportunities, winning techniques, winning gift, winning reward program? Whatever it is that you find which is overlapping between the retailer, the product, and this target learning that you have extracted in terms of sales promotion, of course. Is there any element that you see as being the one that will be winning, and you want to support your recommendation about the type of opportunities, the type of ideas, the type of channel, the type of techniques, rewards to be used with some rationale. That's it, right? So I'm sure you feel overwhelmed. If you don't feel overwhelmed right now, you're not human. But as we say in France, the appetite starts as you eat, right? A problem always looks much bigger when you're in front of the door. So once you open the door and you start to cross and you see that finally it's not that big of a deal, right? And actually, I'm telling you, it's not that big of a deal. The question is to go into it and to make it happen, right? That you have to do, right? So you want to develop a narrated presentation that must not be more than 15 minutes. 20 minutes max, right? 15 minutes, much better. And one piece of advice when you develop presentation, right? You will end up with, you will start to think through so we'll gather information first. That's the first thing that you have to do, right? And once again, I would strongly recommend that you look at the appendix of this description document for the assignment, so that you have an understanding of how I suggest you go about, completing this assignment. But let's say you have your first draft for your presentation. Once you have your first draft, slash its content by at least 50%. And then you have a second draft, and maybe slash its content by at least maybe 25%. A PowerPoint presentation is not a PowerPoint document. It's a PowerPoint presentation. Your voice as you speak is the main point of attention. The PowerPoint is here to support what you say, not the contrary. A PowerPoint is here to support what you say, not the contrary, right? So, be mindful of that. So from there, I think you are all set to start to rock and roll. As I mentioned in my previous video, look at all the documents before you rock and roll. If you have questions about the creative brief content before you make your decision between the product, fitness, Reebok Fitness on one hand or Reebok Classics on the other, please do not hesitate to reach me out. But you will see that you would do very fine, you would enjoy the experience, and you will be amazed by how much you can accomplish in 2 weeks and the quality of what you will be ending up with. Guaranteed. All right. Good luck. Bye-bye.